That's a cool patch. No, we don't have it in the web store. Sorry. It's an F-35 katana patch. Sick. For the F-35 guys. My son got it from a dude. He participated in a joint exercise in Japan flying the F-35. Pretty cool patch. Just thought I'd throw it on the table there. Yeah. For this KRV of an epic blade. Oh my gosh, do I love this knife. I recommend you stop doing what you're doing now. Just pause the video. Your boss will not notice, trust me. I know you watch at work. Way to go, by the way. And use my purchase link below. It will not cost you a dime. And buy yourself a Sanrenmu 763 and tell me how you like it. Come back to the video, comment after you've used it. I bet you love it. Bet you love it. Bet you consider it a Hall of Fame high value knife just like I do. Two colorations to show you with the aluminum scaled version. This very cool blue. And then I have this gray version. Super cool. And they make a brown or bronze version. I don't have that one. God, this is a great knife. Love it, love it, love it. Sanrenmu 763. It's been around a little while. It's not a new blade. I've had one, check this out, for 6 years. Here's my G10 version from 2012. It's gone on about 5 outings up in the wilderness. I just never showed you it. Let's go to spring it on you. Kind of like now. Sanrenmu 763 G10. I can't find the G10 version now. Hey Sanrenmu, if you watch this video, bring this one back. This is my fave version. These are very close seconds. Aluminum scaled versions, they're cool. I like this one because it's a little bit lighter. 2.1 ounces, about 2.6 ounces for these. So just a little bit, but you know me and weight. You know me and weight, dude. It's a big deal for me. Great knives. Epic EDC blades, and that's where I will start philosophy of use. EDC, bro. What do I always say in my EDC knife reviews for the last 12 years? You like small blades, nothing fancy? Thank you. That is exactly what I say. I'm clapping. Thank you, thank you. Whoever said that, you are correct, sir. I like smaller blades for EDC, dude. And I usually will pair it with a tactical self-defense knife. Yeah. And my combination today, which is very odd, it's a Delica and a Lightning OTF. Another Chinese blade. Look at that. Lightning. I freaking carry a Lightning. Not the best OTF in the world, but man, can you annoy people with this or what? I'm just talking about actuating the OTF blade. This is my pairing. Just rule of law carry. But look at my EDC blade. Delica 4 in brown. See, that's what I'm talking about. Yeah, small blade. And the Sanrenmu 763, I think technically it's called the GB 763. Perfect sizing. Really perfect. Let me see if I have another competitive option to illustrate a point. There's some others I'm going to bring out as we go along here. One of the blades I often use as a perfect EDC is the auto knife, the Benchmade 2550. Man, I love this blade. And I say it has a perfect size, perfect shape, very flash-like. I'm talking like SOG flash. There's a competitive option you'll see later. Yeah, it's very flash-like. But there is one advantage, and these are two different creatures. I understand this. This is an auto knife, expensive, U.S. production, and you will pay for it, for sure. Offshore production, much less expensive. But one thing I like about an EDC blade, at least when we're talking about food preparation, is a broader blade. So this is a deeply hollow ground blade on the 763. And it has that broadness so you can spread peanut butter, and do mixing tasks with. That's a realistic use of an EDC blade. I like that, especially, and this is another philosophy of use and one I've applied to this blade, when we're backpacking. I use my little knives up there for food preparation, pretty much. For, just like I said, peanut butter, maybe cutting bread, shaving some cheese off, something. I wouldn't use this knife for dressing a trout. I would probably grab something more elongated. 2550 is too heavy for me to hike with. That's right, it is. But this one isn't an Opinel number 8. This is a great trout and food knife. competitive option, but it's a different creature as well. It's traditional, not fast deploying, two-handed, because you have to turn the locking ring on it. But for trout skinning, dude, this is perfect right there. Maybe not so much for peanut butter, although it can reach deeper into the jar, as opposed to the Sanrenmu, which has a stubby blade. But for cutting cord, opening package, perfect blade, man. That's where its calling is. I think also it's a really excellent soldier knife. Not like you're thinking. You're thinking combat blade. No. Most soldiers are using their knives for what we're using them for. Yeah, opening MREs mostly. Cutting 550 cord. Cutting all types of different media. Just a very lightweight, easy to access, fast in action. That's what I like when I talk about a soldier's EDC blade. Philosophy of use is complete. Size, weight, and feel. I talked about the weight, about 2.6, maybe on your scale, 2.7 or so, and then 2.1, I'm sorry, for the G10 version. The feel is excellent. I'm going to look at the handle construction right now because it has a lot to do with the feel. And here comes a minor criticism. It's very squared off on its shoulders, the Sanrenmu 763. And no, I don't like that. I like rounded handles for sure, but this thing is so tiny, it doesn't really matter. I mean, look at how it is in my hand. That's a small knife, dudes. Yeah, for perspective. I mean, I have large size hands, but I'm going to show you some other things that you know the size of, and you'll see that it's a pretty small blade. In hand, though, the squared shoulders don't really matter that much because it's such a small blade. That's what I'm saying. The G10 version, which, again, I'm not seeing produced right now. Maybe it comes back a little bit better. Warmer to the touch. Definitely lighter weight. I think that's an aluminum backspacer it had on it. Black G10. And by the way, not lined, not fully lined. Another reason why it's only, what I say, 2.2 ounces, 2.1 ounces. Well executed. And, you know, you're going to lack some torsional rigidity. Like if you were to stab into something, twist it, if it's not fully lined. But you're not really going to be doing that with this knife. If you are, you shouldn't be doing it. Get something else. Carry extra weight. Firepower versus mobility. Insert discussion. This is my favorite handle right here, though. It's most excellent. Notice the execution of the lanyard hole. They're both the same. And this one is fully lined, again accounting for the weight, like I mentioned already. And you can see it is skeletonized, which is amazing at this price point, because I bring a lot of I shouldn't say high-end, but higher-end knives to the table, and I rant about how they're not skeletonized. Like, why don't you just skeletonize it? And here we have a sub-$20 blade that gets it. Sanrenmu gets it. They're like, yeah, let's skeletonize that. If they didn't, maybe it's 3-ounce blade. Not that much, but something. But a little bit squared shoulders. That is a minor criticism. But other than that, in hand, again, small knife. Feels great. Feels great. We do have a somewhat of an attempt for jimping right here. And you can see on my 2012 Sanrenmu 763 what I did. I was like, yeah, dude, that sucks. And it does. It's not good jimping. So I took my Dremel and I just ground some more in, and what do you know? It works great. Hey, that looks Bush League nut and fancy. Don't care. It's, you know, it's a tool knife. I don't care. You know, it's not a collectible. It's all first cool with the Sanrenmu. For me, that's what it's for. Blade shape, I love. Drop point, deeply hollow ground, and man, does this thing come sharp. 8CR 13 MOV, and you know I'm a fan of that blade steel. I have been forever. I was one of its first defenders. I took heat for it too back in 08, 09. I said, hey, I like 8CR. Here come the haters. Oh, that blade steel sucks. I was like, no, it doesn't. It's excellent. Takes an edge, easy to sharpen, relatively rust resistant. Lo and behold, now that we have 10,000 more users of the steel, they found out that, what do you know, this Chinese 8CR 13 MOV, or in this case, 14 MOV in the Sanrenmu 763, is awesome. For the price. It's not the wonder steel. I'm not saying that, but I'm saying for $20, it's performing above its price level. I've always said that about 8CR series of steels. They perform above their price level. So what if they're Chinese? I don't care. I'm not prejudiced by country of origin. Never have been. If quality control is awesome, design is awesome, SAWC is awesome, value is awesome, I'm a fan. I'll give you a positive review. I don't get into anything else. I've reviewed a lot of Chinese and Taiwanese blades very favorably on this channel, and man, the Chinese blades have upped their game. I've been saying that for the last few years. Witness a company like We Knives, and I think I have one right here coming up for a review. I mean, this knife, and granted, this is a much more expensive knife, but dang, son, this is like a freaking custom. This is a custom, and what number is this one? Table topping separately. It's a 601 series. This is in black. Chinese produced. So We Knives is so good, you have companies like Ferrum Forge using them. So they'll do the design, they just go to We, and We produces it. I mean, you're talking like custom quality here, guys. And it's trickled down through the entire Chinese knife industry. I'm showing you just one example, and I've thrown several on the table before. The genie is out of the bottle, and I don't think it's going to go back into the bottle unless, and this could happen, companies like We Knife start outpricing themselves. Then the U.S. manufacturers could take pole position. They could go back into the lead. Because if you start outpricing yourself, why should I go buy your knife? There's a ton of great U.S. knives like Benchmade's. I'll go buy over that. So watch out, Chinese manufacturers. Keep your prices very low. Like this knife. This, like I said, this is a high-value knife. If we had such a thing as a high-value knife museum, this sucker, the Sanrenmu 763, should be under a glass presentation case as a, hey, this is how you do it model. Here's the card that comes with it, by the way. Yep, this knife is made from a very special type of stainless steel. Gives you a little bit of information there. And sometimes broken English, but you get it. Love the blade shape, drop point, hollow ground. Cutting through cardboard, the testing I did on this, dude, I cannot believe how good it did. I was testing some other knives that had a lot more drag than this blade. And I'm talking about blade drag through media. Cross-cutting, by the way, cardboard. So I'm not cutting with a grain. I'm cross-cutting. And this thing cut like lightning. I mean, I didn't really detect it slowing down either. The other blades did. Not this one. And I can't, it was one of these solid ones that I test. I can't even tell which one it was, and I forget. I think it was this blue one. But yeah, I think it was the blue one. And it was just fantastic. It just did so well. And I didn't have to do anything to sharpen it back up. I don't know how sharp the blade is. I haven't checked, but let's just test it. It may grab. This is after cardboard testing, dudes. I didn't sharpen this. I didn't touch it up. Grabbing a little bit, but still, that's a good edge. I mean, I cut this huge piece of cardboard with it. A+, man. Like I said, big fan of the steel. Enough ranting on that. Speed is phenomenal for what it is. It's a well-balanced manual action with an axis type lock mechanism. It's axis type. I think the mechanical differences are there. It's not exactly an axis lock. It locks up differently in the elongated hole there. How it engages with the tang of the knife, I think, is a little bit different. Here is a Benchmade Mini Grip in bright yellow. What a great knife. Love it. And you can see the timing differences. So here it's about mid-hole, more forward on the grips, and a lot of other axis lock knives. I love the axis lock. It's one of my all-time favorite locking mechanisms. So this is, I think of it as an homage to it. And I don't know if it was ever licensed, probably not, but I also read that the patent for the axis lock is expired, like in 2016. I don't know. You guys can worry about that. I don't know. All I know is I love the locking mechanism and the way I look at it and study it. And again, I'm not the end-all expert, but it looks to be just a little bit different. A little bit different on the Sanrenmu. But given that, let's take a look. It locks up very well. It has a big old stop pin right there. Has excellent blade retention. And again, the speed is excellent. I can't, just doing this and flipping it out, it has too much retention, so I just do a normal tension thumb flip and it works out great. And I'm consistent in how I deploy my knives. But once you use it some more like this one, it's a little bit looser. Just locks up excellent. Oh man, love this knife. Look at the centering on it. Perfect. And you do have some adjustability, single side pivot, which I was dinking with a knife that had a double-sided pivot, and I think they Loctited it because I was stripping out a mini Torx on it, and I was kind of cursing it. And I was like, this is not that great. I've always liked double-sided pivot adjustments so you can tweak the centering. Here, it may get off if you just have a single side, and you may not be able to tweak it exactly. And I'm talking if you take the knife apart after heavy use. That's what I'm talking about. It's perfect right now. The advantage is you don't have to have another mini Torx on the other side to hold it. This is like dovetailed in with a key, and so you can just do it from one side. All that's good. Speed, lockup, strength for what it is, excellent. We talked about the handles already. Clip design is another big win on the Sanrenmu 763, dudes. Oh my gosh, do I love this clip. Loop over clip. What do you know? Someone who gets it. A Chinese knife company. So it deep carries. I will say I am seeing it more and more, though, on EDC blades. Kind of deep carry clips are more of the standard. This is my 2012 G10 Sanrenmu, same clip. Maybe not totally suited for thick tactical pants. We're seeing some more designs that are along those lines. And I'm going to show you one super quick. I'm not going to tell you what the knife is. You're going to have to wait for the review, but I really like its clip execution. Check this. So it's plastic, and so it raises it off the handle, and then you have your clip. So that is ready for thick tactical pants. Done. Wait for that review. That's another great knife. It's also going to go into the Hall of Fame of EDC blades. Oh yeah. I'm excited because this one is, again, well under my $40 price limit, and I set that like a decade ago for being a high value EDC tactical blade, and I love putting knives in that playlist because it serves a lot of my subscribers. A lot of people can afford that price level. If I review a $300 custom, not so much. $500, not so much. Heck, even a $150 blade, some guys have trouble, you know, jumping into that price level, getting back to the source country, Chinese. So it's able to come in at that price level. If you make this in the United States with this quality, depends on who does it. There are some knife companies that do a really good job of giving U.S. production for a little money, but I'll say 80 bucks. There you go. I'll just ballpark 80 bucks. So really good clip, by the way. Durability, awesome. Pricing, I mentioned it. It's like sub $20. Use my links, dudes. Use my links. It's totally worth it. Stop what you're doing right now if you haven't already. Order one. Just try it. Come back to the video, comment, tell me how you liked it. What'd you use it for? It was my review on Target. Was it on point, or do you think it's just garbage? And if you buy it from Amazon, if you don't like it, you can send it back. No questions asked. Depending on the source. And you know, sometimes there's vendors in Amazon that it's more of a process, but generally it's an easy return. Competitive options. Well, of course, we also have, what do you know, it's Chinese produced, although US designed, Ontario Rat 2. You guys know I love this knife, right? Totally awesome competitive option. This one's going to be heavier, though. Maybe not than these ones. I'm not going to weigh it. Probably about the same as these. Maybe slightly heavier, but not much. This is wearing my edge right there. Woo! AUS 8 steel for this version. Perfect drop point. Liner lock. Captured liner lock in this one. That very cool brown. My wife still carries her Rat 2 in pink, and she absolutely loves the knife. So this, oh, by the way, this is a TMP Cadet in a clashing blue. I have so many different shades of blue. None of them match. This thing has seen a lot of use. This is a collectible, actually, this one. Although, carry version, I think. Yep. I'll put that right there, though. So that's a great competitive option. Between these two, what would I go for? If I'm going backpacking, just G10 version. I mean, it's it's way up there in my selection process. Obviously, because I've hiked it, and you guys know how anal I am with weight, especially when I'm carrying on my back, and it's even more so now. Yeah, the G10 would be ideal. These ones a little bit less, because I don't know. I know it's just a couple micro ounces, but I'm counting it. Totally counting it. The knife I was going to show you as a competitive option is a SOG Flash 1, which started all of TMP. This one polished haphazardly by myself years ago with flits. This is a great knife right here. And you remember I showed you that 550? The Benchmade 550? I mean, I told you that knife companies are always copying each other. I mean, you can see the blade shapes are very similar. This has more of a drop point. Pretty similar in my way of thinking, though. But I was going to show you this knife in terms of size, too. So there's a Flash 1. It's like 1.2 ounces. Like, it weighs nothing. And there's a Sanrenmu 763. I told you that's a small knife, dudes. That is a small knife. And that's perfect. But, dude, you can never go wrong with a Flash. The only thing I ever hear about a SOG Flash 1 that guys don't like is they just don't dig the looks. But there's no steel liners, deep carry clip. They may not like the clip. But I mean, when they use it, I don't meet any of you guys that have ever used it and then you go, oh, I don't like that knife. Almost everyone absolutely loves it. But this is more expensive than that. Way more. I'm trying to remember the price. I want to say 40-ish or something for the Flash 1. I'll throw a link down there too. I mean, if you don't have a Flash 1 in your EDC rotation, you need to rethink your system. I mean, it is so lightweight and easy to carry. You can get a genuine Benchmade Mini Grip. You can't go wrong with this. It's going to be much more expensive. And they're not exactly an ultra lightweight, but end of things I don't like about it. Maybe jimping. The jimping's not so great. But in the bright colors, ooh, great knife. But it's a different price level, so it does, I don't know. In a way, it doesn't really compete, in my way of thinking. Not so much. What else do I have here? The other one I don't want to show you yet, so I'm not going to show you that one because it'll ruin that review. That's all I'm showing you. There's some other great blades. Kershaw's made some really great, generally not super lightweight EDC knives of this size. To get something with this blade shape, with this style of lock, oh my gosh, with the speed, the deep carry pocket clip, the different colorations, so you have kind of a second cool thing coming on. Oh my gosh, it's hard to do. I mean, this is an excellent blade. I didn't really show you the thumb studs, so dual thumb studs. And you're stuck, by the way, for right-hand carry. I forgot to mention that too. Thankfully, tip up. I love that. That's all good. But this is such a great knife. Awesome. Is a Smale in that sick aqua color. Oh my gosh. A Nut and Fancy favorite watch, actually. And, oh yeah, another clashing blue. Sanrenmu 763. Yeah, if there was a high-value knife museum, this would definitely be in it. I absolutely love the blades. Highly recommended. This one will rate a little bit higher for its lighter weight, but these are still going to scale real nicely on my likability scale. Thanks for watching. Thanks for the support. Thanks to the TMP Patreon members who keep this whole thing going. Done.